Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics 365 MVP, and I'm here on Partner Talks today with Rani Pendse from Microsoft Canada. Rani, you help Microsoft partners. Tell us what you do.
Thank you, Rick. I'm a partner development manager at Microsoft Canada. And what that means is for startups and companies building their B2B focused solutions on Microsoft Cloud, Azure, Dynamics, Power Platform, or Teams, I bring Microsoft resources, programs, and initiatives to help build, market, and expand sales of our partner solutions globally.
That's fantastic because, I'm a little biased because I've been in this dynamic space since the beginning with the CRM side of things. But I think like now we are in probably the best position we have ever been in to work with ISVs. So tell us a little bit about some of these programs and how you typically engage with partners.
So the way this works is that I work with Canadian partners, so anyone that has their headquarters in Canada. And we have multiple programs and initiatives for our co-sell partnership with Microsoft. One of that program happens to be the Business Application ISV program, which is an acceleration pathway for partners who are either building new apps on Power Apps or extending or connecting with Dynamics 365 applications. I love to look for solutions that are very industry focused or vertical focused. And if they're built on Azure, they're connected to Dynamics, into Power Apps or Teams, those are the ones that we can really accelerate. One of the ways that we do this is actually putting all these solutions on the Microsoft Marketplace. And Forrester's 2020 report says this too, like the overall market for business applications in the cloud is growing at 17%. And Microsoft Dynamics is outpacing that at 2.5 times the growth. So when I look for these,
incredible.
It is, yeah. And so when I find these solutions, what I'm able to do is work with them to see, well, how have you figured out the strategy for growth? How are you going to commercialize this? How are you accelerating? What's the focus point? Is it Canada? Is it growing elsewhere globally? Because although I work with Canadian companies, I help their growth regardless of where they sell in the world.
So let's talk about some of the companies that you help, and give us a few examples of how joining the ISV Connect program made them global organizations.
Absolutely. So I have a lot of partners in the healthcare and public sector space, but I do work with a lot of different types of organizations, and we have a small team behind us as well. So iTrack 365 is one of the partners in the ISV Connect program, and they've also shared very publicly that they've seen a 4 times increase in sales leads because they were on the Microsoft Marketplace. That is just one example, but we have a lot of partners that we showcase in our customers.microsoft.com site, where all of these stories are showcased of partners successfully creating impact with Microsoft and customers. So Schick IoT is a great example where they've mentioned that the way that they've grown is they got a customer that they'd been dreaming about, finding them on the Microsoft Marketplace and helping them grow. I had another partner, VGIS, that also started up with Microsoft programs and went global in less than a year. So it really is about what is considered a success for a partner. Are you looking for more technical guidance so that you can scale? Because tomorrow, if you get 1 million customers, is your application going to hold? If you have an opportunity from Europe, are you compliant from a regulatory perspective to grow? So many things that we need to consider from that side. The other times that we have partners, they're looking at, I'd like to get more marketing together with Microsoft. So we're jointly going, and you can't negate the fact that we have pretty good brand recognition from that perspective. And then from a sales channel perspective too, if you're looking at growing into different regions, you have Microsoft feet on the street that can help. You have a very large partner ecosystem that are also looking to partner up with others in the ecosystem to help accelerate and grow. So for each partner, what success means is a little bit different. And we're there to support regardless of where you're in the journey and how you want to go forward to it. Some move at an exceptional pace, which could be a year. And in some cases, it takes 2 years. Either way, there is a tremendous growth forecasted, whether this partner is actually focused on SMB or enterprise market.
So, I've worked with dozens of ISVs over the last decade. And, what I kind of convince them to do is say, okay, you got to join these Microsoft programs. You've got to get involved because you may be a small regional, organization in Montreal, and you may sell in, that Quebec corridor and have a very successful little ISV business. But the minute you publish that on AppSource, you may get a lead in New Zealand. You may get a lead in Taiwan. You may get a lead in South Africa. And there's no other ecosystem besides Microsoft that I really know of that, we can put an application out there, grow on the platform, and then have this legion of partners that are more than happy to, do a P2P motion with you, partner to partner, and help you do the implementation. So if I have an opportunity in South Africa, I may not really be able to support that from Montreal, but it wouldn't take long to find a very qualified partner in South Africa who could take that on for you. So it's kind of a ready-made global network that you can tap into. And when people see this, they get excited, and the ones that do it properly tend to grow very quickly.
100% agree with you. I'm finding that I have two examples, actually. One of my partners, it was the same thing. Our Microsoft ecosystem in Singapore actually found them, Canadian small partner, contacted me. I had meetings, which was interesting because of the time difference, but we did a lot of those where they were now selling into opportunities that they had no visibility into otherwise at all. I have another partner, again, in the medical space, where the only way that really accelerated into France, Belgium, Switzerland, and now they're moving into the UK. It's a small Montreal company, but that acceleration was mainly because there was another partner in the channel was looking for the exact same solution that they've built. So it was bundle it up together and be able to push it. And you're now partnering together in your growth with Microsoft. So there's a lot of these kind of examples. If any of these companies, if you're really thinking about all of our small companies in all these different locations in Canada, how can we be part of this globalization trend? How can I really get opportunities into those? This marketplace is where I've seen that really accelerate. Lead generation, you can contract on the marketplace. You can get a channel ecosystem in the same way. So lots of opportunities.
And, when you look at the cost, as a small company, do I have the ability to do global marketing? No, but when I sort of wrap myself in this Microsoft coat, I get pulled along by Microsoft's marketing. So, that's a great upside to this. But the other thing that ISVs start to realize is if they're into a competitive situation, they're selling the Microsoft solution. So they're not selling little ABC company solution anymore. They're part of the Microsoft co-sell program. They're part of AppSource. So the client's seeing them as a Microsoft solution, not a small business solution. And I think it gives them a lot of sort of competitive advantage over a lot of other vendors.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, it's surprising you mentioned that too, because I have a very successful partner by their own right who joined up with Microsoft, and then they also published their solution on the marketplace. And the trigger for that was because they had a lot of enterprise customers that are just searching for their solution on the marketplace, calling them and saying, are you on the marketplace? So they said, well, we need to be part of that. And there's two reasons for that. One is if you think about Microsoft sales reps, they're all incentivized to take partner solutions and attach it to customers. And there's also an interesting pull from customers because they're also incentivized to pick solutions that are built on Microsoft services. So it's a good push and pull that's driving a lot of momentum. And one of the questions I always get from partners is, what's the fee to participate? Or do you need my data or IP or profit sharing or any of that? And the answer is no. It's as simple as signing up for a Microsoft Partner Network ID, getting started on the program with Microsoft, because the more that we help you grow, the more that you're going to use Microsoft services. And this is how we're going to jointly make sure that we're going to have innovative solutions that customers can really transform their business.
So, and Randy, another thing I want to talk about is, our technology stack is really coming together. Where we're seeing the ERP, the CRM, the ISV applications are all running on what we call the common data service, which is now a Dataverse, right? So we're moving through this world very quickly to become an integrated solution. But there's been some announcements recently from Microsoft on even deeper integrations. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. You're talking about the Microsoft Ignite conference that we just had in March. And the event recording, by the way, is available to watch on demand. Lots of great announcements, pretty exciting news. I have my three favorites for your audience. One is actually new AI capabilities in Power Virtual Agents. So this allows bots to learn and improve over time without any maker intervention. So really helping you not have your developers spend a lot of time building out what's already available, as simply as turning it on within this within the platform. The other one that's really interesting is real-time customer-led journey orchestration capabilities in Dynamics 365. So what that means is you can now personalize experience with AI across all digital and physical touch points. It's much more seamless and smoother than having to clobber it all together yourself. And then the third one that I personally love is the seamless integration of Microsoft Teams and Dynamics 365. And what that's actually doing is really embedding the collaboration experience for Teams within your Dynamics application. I'm going to make sure that I send the link to this as well, because there's some great demos that shows how you can actually look within your Dynamics platform solution itself and have interaction going on within that, much more than you've seen before.
And yesterday I was on a call with a client of mine that is a startup incubator that uses Dynamics and Teams. And I said, so I wanted to show them some of this, and they were, very excited about what they can now build within Teams to manage their clients and to have collaboration. So as I see this start to build out more and more, I really think that our Dynamics solutions are going to be, right across an organization and really leveraged by everybody.
I think what a lot of partners need to realize too is we're not in the market to compete with any of the partners. We're building some really cool blocks that's going to make sure that the boring parts of some of the work that needs to be done, or the more developer intensive work, is taken care of. So you can actually then focus on the impact that you want to create with your solution. It's faster development. It's actually more innovation, faster innovation. So this is what we're trying to make sure that you're not thinking about how I'm going to make this happen. It's like, what is the thing that I actually want to do? So you can focus on that. Lots of great work being done. And part of the partner manager's role, as well as I have a lot of architects that I work with, is coming to partners to say, maybe you need to focus your attention on this piece because some of this is coming down the pipeline. It's going to be available as a service. So let's make sure that you're doing this as optimized as possible.
Okay. Well, Rani, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I'm going to catch up with you again in the future to find out, what else is happening in these ISV partner programs, because I think we're going to see some nonstop innovation over the next couple of years. So thanks for your time, and I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for the opportunity, Rick.